Hi everyone. So today, IIM Bangalore conducted its first entrance for the new law program, which is being launched by IIM Bangalore from September, and that is Digital Business and Entrepreneurship. So the online BBA program, which will have an intake of 1,000 students, will be offered in an asynchronous mode, which means most of your sessions will be pre-recorded. There would be live sessions as well, but most of the sessions will be pre-recorded. And to admit the students for the program, the IIM Bangalore today conducted the entrance examination. So in this session, we are going to look at what actually appeared in the paper, how easy or difficult it was based on the students' feedback, those who gave the examination today. Now, if we talk about the entrance test, it was completely based on the structure which was given by IIM Bangalore for the particular program, and then also they followed exactly the sample paper which was released. So the paper today had four sections: verbal ability, quantitative ability, logical reasoning, as well as general awareness. And as expected, there were a total of 60 questions to be attempted in 90 minutes. There was no sectional time limit out here, which means you can switch between the section. आप बिल्कुल questions by question जा सकते थे, or whatever the strategy was, you could have solved a particular question from one section then another. So that's how it could be. Marking scheme +1 for every correct answer. There is no negative marking actually. Overall, based on the feedback of the students who appeared for the examination, the paper seems to be in the level of being called easy to moderate. So the paper definitely was not difficult actually. It was kind of easy to moderate. The questions were quite straightforward. GK could have posed a little bit of problem for many of the students actually, because there were questions based on static GK all. So this was the exam pattern today. Quantitative ability, which had 20 questions, verbal ability had 20 questions, logical reasoning another 10, and general awareness 10. The verbal ability and the logical reasoning section were definitely very easy. Quantitative ability could be termed as moderate, because in some of the questions the students face little bit of issue actually, and then of course general awareness easy to moderate because of the static GK questions which are there actually. Now if you look at section by section analysis, now talking about the quantitative ability, so that's the breakup. So we had one DI set wherein a pie chart was given, and this pie chart was about which showed a percentage of total number of students in different college affiliated to an education council, and a radar graph which showed the number of male students at the different colleges, which was given actually. So questions were about ratios, largely about the ratio of female students from one college to another, and then percentages about, so how what percent of number of students more than in one college than the other college actually. So the DI set was not very difficult. It was easy actually, and one could have easily managed all the four questions. We had questions on profit and loss, time and work, geometry, ratios, algebra. So the questions were from the familiar topics actually. If you talk about there was a question on finding the missing term actually. So some of the first three numbers of the series were given, and the sum of the last three numbers of the series was given, and mean was also given. And then the question was asked about the sum of the three number exactly at the middle of the series. The time and distance question was there about the train, which most of you are familiar with actually. So if a train reaches certain minute late at a particular speed, and then another certain minute late at a particular speed, then what should be the speed of train to reach on time at the destination actually. Similarly, geometry question was about what kind of triangle. So there was a triangle XYZ, and of which one of the axis XY was about 13 centimeter, and a median is dropped from the vertex Z on the side XY. So what kind of triangle it is. So overall, if you look at the quantitative ability section, those who have done well in 9th, 10th level mathematics, I'm sure they would have, if taken the paper today, they would have definitely found this paper to be very, very easy. Everything was more or less on the familiar topics actually. So overall, the quantitative ability, those who practiced well would have found it easy. Otherwise, for some, it could have definitely seemed to be a little bit difficult, and that's why student rated this as mostly easy to moderate kind of actually, when it comes to moderate largely actually, when it comes to the quantitative ability, which had 20 questions today. Now, if you move on and look at the verbal ability section, there was one passage which was expected. The passage was about the existence of life on Earth, as well as the possibility of life on the satellite planet, which is Titan. And the questions were very straightforward, like which statement is not correct about the passage, or what does the word conducive in the passage mean. I'm sure this is something which should not have posed any problem to the students. The analogy question was about learned, scholarly, superficial, what would come next actually. Antonym was given in the matching format actually. Then correct usage of words were asked in the passage, like dumping medical waste affects the environment badly. So the word was supposed to be replaced. So overall, if you look at the breakup of the 20 question, we had 4 questions from fill in the blanks, which was the maximum and other reading comprehension passage, which was there. Otherwise, we had two questions from each of this. Grammar, one question was based on preposition, questions based on phrasal verb, synonyms, antonyms, idioms were asked, parajumbles were asked, analogy, correct usage of word. So every familiar area one could have think of that was asked in the verbal ability section within those 20 questions. Now, talking about the logical analytical reasoning section, again, equal distribution was done as far as the topics are concerned. So questions on age were based, arrangement BIR, statement conclusion based questions, logical reasoning got covered, blood relations, series, coding, decoding, all the familiar topics which you generally prepare for any BBA entrance actually in the country. Those were asked in the IIM DBE entrance examination which was conducted today. तो क्वेश्चंस बहुत ही आसान थे. क्वेश्चन बिल्कुल मतलब फॉर्मूला ड्रिवन अगर बात कर रहे, थोड़ी बहुत भी प्रैक्टिस की है तो यू कुड हैव इजीली डन द पेपर. सो द क्वेश्चंस वर नॉट एट ऑल डिफिकल्ट. जीके इज वेयर द मिक्स ऑफ स्टैटिक एंड करंट अफेयर्स वाज देयर. सो बुक्स एंड ऑथर्स बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस. G7 समिट कहाँ पे हुआ था? अभी रिसेंटली जून में इटली में हुआ था. Then talking about World Junior Chess Championship under 20, who won it actually? Place of origin of Dandi March. Vande Mataram movement, which event के बाद start हुआ था? So there were a few static GK questions as well, few current affairs. Of course, mostly were static GK questions. So थोड़ा बहुत वहाँ पर लोगों को problem definitely आ सकती है because static is vast and most students struggle over there, and that's why students rated that particular section easy to moderate. So overall, this was a paper which was worth, like I would say, looking at, definitely doable actually. So not commenting on the cutoffs because it is yet to be known actually how many students have appeared for the examination, how many registrations have happened for the program actually. But a large number, because unlike any other entrance here, thousands would students would be selected for the program actually. So the cutoff is not going to be very, very higher. So one could have easily looked at doing some 55 questions out of the 60 questions which were asked in the paper. The time was definitely not a constraint. With no negative marking, there was no issue actually. So cutoff still could be, because there are 1,000 students to be selected. I believe cutoff could be in the range of somewhere around, let's say 40 plus actually. It may even come down, but not be very, very higher actually. Another entrance will be happening on 17th actually. So based on the performances of the students across the 2 different examinations, IIM Bangalore will finally decide the cutoff and would invite the top 1,000 students first to take admission to the program, which is the first program in undergraduate by IIM Bangalore, and this is going to be an online BBA in digital business and entrepreneurship with exit options available at the end of each year actually. So all the best to those who appeared for the examination today and those who would be appearing for the examination in a week's time from now. I'm sure you will definitely taste success over here and you'll be getting admitted to the program. Stay tuned to the channel as we bring on more exam coverages and other important news regarding different examinations. Okay, so all the best to each one of you, and I'm sure those who are appearing for the examination next week, they would definitely feel motivated now and that they would be more familiar with the paper now. I'm sure they will do their best actually.